Some people think Baba Vanga, the so-called Nostradamus of the Balkans, predicted the spread of COVID-19 and other world historical mood killers.
From encounters with aliens to warnings about humanity facing the end of life, Baba Vanga continues to instill fear with her predictions about the future of the world. Vanga shocked the world as her predictions for 2024 came true, ranging from a global economic crisis to groundbreaking advancements in medicine. By 2025, her predictions are gradually becoming more accurate. Encounters with aliens. She predicted that in 2025, human telepathic abilities will reach a new level, allowing us to communicate with friends from beyond Earth. While the idea of an alien attack might seem like something out of science fiction, it is not without precedent. In the past, various cultures have reported encounters with extraterrestrial beings, and some have even claimed to have been abducted by aliens. However, it is important to note that there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of aliens or the possibility of an alien attack. While the likelihood of an alien attack is unknown, the idea of contact with extraterrestrial life raises a number of questions about our place in the universe and the possibility of other intelligent life. It could also have significant effects on our society and culture, potentially leading to new scientific discoveries and even religious or philosophical changes. While there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of extraterrestrial life, the search for such life is an active area of research. Scientists have discovered thousands of exoplanets, or planets, that orbit stars other than our Sun, and some of these planets are located in the habitable zone, which could potentially support life. Additionally, several organizations, such as the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, are actively searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. New hope for cancer. Continuing with the next prediction about advancements in medicine, these breakthroughs are expected to yield a perfect result as scientists discover a cure for one of the most terrifying diseases of all time: cancer. The mystic predicted that new cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer will be invented this year. It sounds unbelievable, but, nothing is impossible with the rapid development of world medicine. President Vladimir Putin recently said that Russian scientists are close to creating a vaccine for cancer that could soon be available to patients. He said, "We have reached a significant milestone in the development of cancer vaccines and next-generation immunomodulatory drugs. I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy," he added, speaking at a Moscow forum on future technologies. However, he did not specify the types of cancer the proposed vaccines would target. Furthermore, recent developments have confirmed progress in the development of a lung cancer vaccine. The United Kingdom has allocated funding for 2 years of laboratory research and initial manufacturing of 3,000 doses for a DNA-based lung cancer vaccine, as stated in a press release from the University of Oxford, located in Oxford, England. But it cannot be denied that the world will have a positive outlook for cancer patients, and we can fully expect that miracle will happen in 2024. The Chosen One. One of Baba Vanga's most intriguing predictions for 2025 is the birth of a child who will play a crucial role in achieving world peace. According to her prophecy, this child will bring a new order and become a spiritual leader who will unite humanity. It is said that the child will be born on January 5th, 2025, and will grow up with exceptional abilities that will enable them to guide the world in times of crisis. Seen as a symbol of hope amid darker prophecies, this child is regarded by some of Baba Vanga's followers as a sign of renewal and unity. Although this prediction is one of the least verifiable, it has captured the imagination of many and remains a topic of speculation. Baba Vanga also mentioned the name of the powerful man, Putin. This is one of her most famous predictions. According to her, Putin will become the lord of the world, while Europe will become a wasteland. All will thaw as if ice, only one remains untouched: Vladimir's glory, the glory of Russia. Nobody can stop Russia. After the Russia and Ukraine conflict, these alleged prophecies attributed to Bulgarian blind seer Baba Vanga went viral on social media and were mentioned by mainline international media as well. Reportedly, they came from Russian poet and academic Valentin Mitrofanovich Sidorov, who interviewed Baba Vanga and devoted a book to her, whose most popular edition, heavily edited after his death, was published in 2009. Many people are quite skeptical of this prophecy, and up until now, nothing is certain about the final outcome of the conflict between the two nations. Who will be the last warrior standing? Nature is raging. In India, where temperatures are said to reach 50 degrees and cause locusts to damage crops, Baba Vanga also foresaw famine. The mystic who predicted intense bouts of flooding in Australia and parts of Asia also predicted more earthquakes and tsunamis. It is believed to have been said by Baba Vanga that in 2024, a country would be carrying out bioweapons tests. This prediction is highly disturbing and relevant to current geopolitical issues. This prediction of the blind prophet reminds us a verse of Bible. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. Doubtless, somewhere people will, again, start to use such disasters as signs that we are living in the last days. Or, to put it more accurately, since the New Testament consistently insists the last days began with Christ's first coming, they will insist that we are living in the last days of the last days. Wars and rumors of wars should not alarm God's people. The end is still to come. Earthquakes and famines are merely the beginning of birth pangs. In other words, just as labor pains remind a pregnant mother that there is a baby inside her that the body wants to bring into the world, so do these various earthly disasters remind believers that Christ will return, ending human history as we now know it. But how unreliable those labor pains can be, sometimes coming months ahead of the actual due date, sometimes weeks in advance. They remind us that we are getting closer to the climactic day, but we knew that already just because of the passing of time. Vanga also said that in 2024, Earth could encounter a different path around the sun. This is a highly interesting prediction and one that could have far-reaching effects on our lives. Every year, Earth passes the sun around 584 million miles. This journey is an epic elliptical one, as it is shaped like an oval instead of a circle. The exact shape of the oval is determined by the forces of other planets. Although Earth's orbit can change due to these forces, these changes only happen in a cyclical manner. Even subtle changes can have severe implications on the Earth. It could cause extreme radiation levels and soaring temperatures to affect our planet. It's also possible that the orbital shift suggested by Baba Vanga could be caused by an impact from an asteroid. Is this a sign to the end? Let's wait and see. The end of the world. Before her death, Vanga predicted Europe would be under Islamic leadership by 2043, communism's return by 2076, and the resolution of the world hunger crisis between 2025 and 2028. In 2304, humans supposedly achieved time travel, followed by man-made natural disasters from 2341, rendering Earth uninhabitable. Fear not, as Vanga claims human immortality, assimilation with aliens, and communication with God by 4302. The world's end, according to her, is only in 5079. In India, where temperatures are said to reach 50 degrees and cause locusts to damage crops, Baba Vanga also foresaw famine. The mystic who predicted intense bouts of flooding in Australia and parts of Asia also predicted more earthquakes and tsunamis. It is believed to have been said by Baba Vanga that in 2024, a country would be carrying out bioweapons tests. This prediction is highly disturbing and relevant to current geopolitical issues. This prediction of the blind prophet reminds us a verse of Bible. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. Doubtless, somewhere people will again start to use such disasters as signs that we are living in the last days. Or, to put it more accurately, since the New Testament consistently insists the last days began with Christ's first coming, they will insist that we are living in the last days of the last days. Wars and rumors of wars should not alarm God's people. The end is still to come. Earthquakes and famines are merely the beginning of birth pangs. In other words, just as labor pains remind a pregnant mother that there is a baby inside her that the body wants to bring into the world, so do these various earthly disasters remind believers that Christ will return, ending human history as we now know it. But my, how unreliable those labor pains can be, sometimes coming months ahead of the actual due date, sometimes weeks in advance. They remind us that we are getting closer to the climactic day, but we knew that already just because of the passing of time. Vanga also said that in 2024, Earth could encounter a different path around the sun. This is a highly interesting prediction and one that could have far-reaching effects on our lives. Every year, Earth passes the sun around 584 million miles. This journey is an epic elliptical one, as it is shaped like an oval instead of a circle. The exact shape of the oval is determined by the forces of other planets. Although Earth's orbit can change due to these forces, these changes only happen in a cyclical manner. Even subtle changes can have severe implications on the Earth. It could cause extreme radiation levels and soaring temperatures to affect our planet. It's also possible that the orbital shift suggested by Baba Vanga could be caused by an impact from an asteroid. But we need to take a note at this. Although there are many prophets who make predictions about the end of the world, in reality, God has said that no one knows the day or hour of his coming, but God. But about that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. When the Lord tells us, no one knows the day or the hour, he is referring to the truth that nobody knows when his second coming will be. Many individuals throughout time have tried to predict the second coming of Christ, yet there is no way a person can predict the Lord's second coming. The second coming of Christ is often confused with the rapture of the church. Many scholars blend these two events of eschatology to be the same event. However, the second coming of Christ and the rapture are two distinct events. The rapture will occur before the second coming of Christ, because the second coming will not occur until the end of the 7-year tribulation. None of us can predict the time when all of these future events will take place. The rapture is the catalyst for the rest of the events of eschatology, as believers will be taken up to be with the Lord prior to the 7-year tribulation. After the 7-year tribulation will be the second coming of Christ. During this time, Christ will return to fight in the Battle of Armageddon. You can read Revelation chapter 19 verses 11 to 16 for more. In the Battle of Armageddon, the Lord will defeat the Antichrist and the false prophet. Jesus will rule victorious over evil and destroy all those who went against him. The second coming will be drastically different from his first coming. The Lord has already given us the opportunity to place faith in him through the knowledge of the gospel. Yet at his second coming, he will bring the full promises of our salvation to fruition. After the end of the 7-year tribulation, Jesus will reign as king for 1,000 years, and then he will establish the new heaven and new earth. When God establishes the new heaven and new earth, the world will be exactly as God first intended it to be in the Garden of Eden. No longer will there be any death, pain, or sadness. Instead, there will only be happiness, joy, and life. The second coming of Christ is something we should all look forward to, as it will be a major event in eschatology. If you are presently already a believer, you can be confident in the knowledge that you will return with Christ at his second coming and help fight in the battle of Armageddon. All believers who have died or been taken up in the rapture prior to the 7-year tribulation will return to Christ to fight in the battle of Armageddon. While this may be frightening, we can trust in the Lord and in his future plans. Touch to the sky. According to Baba Vanga, humans will reach Venus in search of new energy sources, and the problem of food shortages will be resolved very soon. There will also be a human space mission to Mercury. With more than half of the Earth suffering due to climate change and terrorism, humans have already begun searching for habitats on other planets. It's possible that Baba Vanga's prophecy could come true. Personally, seeing the state of Earth makes me want to move to another planet. Anyway, let's move on to the next prediction. Baba Vanga's prediction about a star exploding could be seen as similar to the supernova SN 1006, which occurred in the year 1006 and was visible for several years. The explosion of a star would likely be a significant event and could potentially have some impact on our planet, such as affecting our climate or causing disruptions in our technology. A star exploding could potentially have significant effects on our planet. For example, it could release large amounts of radiation, which could affect our climate and even our health. Additionally, it could disrupt our technology, including satellites and power grids. The bright light from the exploding star could also potentially affect our sleep patterns and have other effects on our daily lives. There are several stars in the universe that are currently known to be at the end of their lives and could potentially explode in the near future. While predicting the exact timing of such events is difficult, astronomers have identified several stars that are at high risk of exploding, which could provide some support for Baba Vanga's prediction. With that, she also warned us the visit of strangers. While the idea of an alien attack might seem like something out of science fiction, it is not without precedent. In the past, various cultures have reported encounters with extraterrestrial beings, and some have even claimed to have been abducted by aliens. However, it is important to note that there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of aliens or the possibility of an alien attack. While the likelihood of an alien attack is unknown, the idea of contact with extraterrestrial life raises a number of questions about our place in the universe and the possibility of other intelligent life. It could also have significant effects on our society and culture, potentially leading to new scientific discoveries and even religious or philosophical changes. While there is currently no scientific evidence to support the existence of extraterrestrial life, the search for such life is an active area of research. Scientists have discovered thousands of exoplanets or planets that orbit stars other than our Sun, and some of these planets are located in the habitable zone, which could potentially support life. Additionally, several organizations, such as the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, are actively searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. Europe's population will reach 0. Baba Vanga predicted that by 2025, Europe's population will become nearly 0. This could be due to terrorism, social upheaval, and climate changes. With the current global distress caused by the microvirus, it's not impossible for Europe's population to vanish. However, how much of this is true remains to be seen. Humans will reach Venus and Mercury. According to Baba Vanga, by 2028, humans will reach Venus in search of new energy sources, and the problem of food shortages will be resolved. There will also be a human space mission to Mercury. With more than half of the Earth suffering due to climate change and terrorism, humans have already begun searching for habitats on other planets. It's possible that Baba Vanga's prophecy could come true. Personally, seeing the state of Earth makes me want to move to another planet. Anyway, let's move on to the next prediction. Expansion of the seas. Baba Vanga predicted that by 2033, Earth's large ice sheets will melt. As a result, sea levels will rise, submerging cities located along coastlines. There will be water everywhere, and tsunamis will strike several cities, engulfing them. Geopolitical changes. Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025 also encompass significant geopolitical changes. She foresaw shifts in global power dynamics that could reshape international relations and influence the balance of power. Emerging powers could rise to prominence once dominant nations see their influence wane. These changes will impact global trade, economic policies, and diplomatic relations. Countries must navigate these shifts carefully to maintain stability and foster cooperation. Baba Vanga's prophecies suggest that some nations may form new alliances, while others could experience internal strife and political upheaval. The predicted geopolitical changes may also affect global security. Shifting power dynamics could increase the risk of conflicts and tensions. Nations must prioritize diplomacy and conflict resolution to avoid escalation and promote peace. In addition to power shifts, Baba Vanga predicted changes in global leadership. New leaders may emerge with different visions and policies, influencing the direction of their countries and the world. These leaders could be crucial in addressing global challenges, such as climate change, economic inequality, and social justice. Baba Vanga's predictions for geopolitical changes in 2024 highlight the need for adaptability and resilience. As the world evolves, nations must work together to navigate these changes and create a more stable and prosperous future. Cyborg humans. Advancements in prosthetics and other artificial body parts have already made it possible for some people to replace lost or damaged body parts with artificial ones. However, the idea of humans becoming entirely cyborg raises a number of ethical and philosophical questions, such as what it means to be human, and whether it is right to modify the human body in such a way. Additionally, it is unclear what impact this could have on society as a whole, and whether it could lead to a greater divide between those who can afford such enhancements and those who cannot. Many of her predictions are open to interpretation, and it is unclear what impact they could have on our lives. However, they do raise some interesting questions about the future of humanity and the role of technology in shaping our world. Humans becoming cyborgs could potentially lead to significant changes in our society and culture. It could create new social and economic divides between those who can afford such enhancements and those who cannot. It could also raise significant ethical questions about what it means to be human, as well as the potential impact on our health and well-being. Additionally, it could lead to significant changes in our job market and economy, potentially replacing some jobs with machines or technology. The rise of science. Baba Vanga also gave a prediction about the rise of technology. In Baba Vanga's predictions, thanks to advances in organ transplant technology, humans will live to be more than 100 years old. She also anticipated that the darkness would be gone and another region of Earth would be illuminated by artificial sunlight. She foresees a major breakthrough in the realm of quantum computing, bringing an unprecedented technological revolution. This advancement is set to shake up various sectors, from finance and healthcare to cybersecurity, all thanks to the mind-blowing capabilities of quantum computers. The rapid advance of technology is transforming civilization in ways no one expected, in ways that are exciting and scary, ways we are only beginning to understand. Tech seems on the verge of recreating human beings into something new, something altered, bionic, computerized, robotic, superhuman. The internet's spiderweb has descended and covered nearly all elements of civilization. The smartphone, smartwatch, and smart home are growing into the smart world. So, are these things linked to the Bible prophecy? Some readers may recall the words given to the prophet Daniel more than 25 centuries ago in Daniel 12:4, that at the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Not until recent history have we seen a time when millions of people rapidly fly all over the globe, reaching destinations in hours that in previous centuries took months or even years. Until year 1900, human knowledge approximately doubled every century. However, by 1950, human knowledge doubled every 25 years. In 2000, human knowledge would double every year. Now, our knowledge is almost doubling every day. This should certainly make us pay attention to how quickly our world is changing, and with it, how previously puzzling Bible prophecies might now be fulfilled. In Matthew 24, Jesus Christ's disciples asked him what would signal his return. What started with the movable type printing press in 1439 eventually matured into the internet and smartphones, instant fingertip access to anything at any time. Christ's words in Matthew 24:14 have never made more sense than in this era. The internet in everyone's pockets means the potential now exists, as never before, for the true gospel of God's coming kingdom to be preached, truly, to all nations. In Revelation 13:15-17, verses show the rise in the last days of a world-ruling superpower centered in Europe called the Beast. God's word shows it will exercise unprecedented control over people, like the vast Roman Empire but bigger and modern, with religion playing a major role. Revelation shows how the religious leader of this end-time superpower will honor the civil aspect of this power and will punish and kill those who refuse to worship the beast. Note how those who refuse to be part of this satanic system are cut off from buying or selling. Their economic tap is turned off. Then think of our soon-coming cashless society. Every transaction is rapidly becoming electronic. It will not be technically difficult for people to no longer be able to buy and sell if they do not fall in line with the beast power. Technology may not be the actual mark of the beast, but it will almost certainly be used to enforce the mark. The stage is set for God to reach vast numbers with the true gospel, and the context of this prophecy is just before Christ's second coming. BABA Vanga predicted that communication technologies would continue to evolve, making it easier for people to connect across vast distances. Innovations in this field could lead to faster, more reliable internet connections and new ways of interacting with each other, further shrinking the global village. BABA Vanga's technological advancements predicted for 2024 are expected to impact daily life profoundly. From healthcare to communication, these innovations could improve efficiency, convenience, and overall quality of life. As we embrace these changes, it is important to consider the benefits and potential challenges they may bring. Also with that, humans face to dangerous cyber attacks. She warns of a surge in cyber attacks for 2024. These aren't your run-of-the-mill hackers. They're leveling up in sophistication, targeting critical infrastructure like power grids and water treatment facilities. These attacks could lead to widespread disruptions and chaos, posing a serious national security threat. Antichrist appearance. The blind prophet continued to warn the world about the important character might change the whole world. That is Antichrist. When you watch a TV show or music competition, it's amazing to see how people can rise up from poverty and then be launched into worldwide popularity in a matter of months. So it will be with the Antichrist. He will have an inconspicuous beginning and win the hearts of humanity. He will be highly intelligent. He will be stronger than most. He will be a gifted communicator. He will be politically savvy. While he will be charming, his corrupt character will be revealed after 3.5 years into the tribulation. The world will see how this man is now hell-bent on destroying the Christian faith and persecuting the Jews. He is described as a blasphemer, a hater of God's law. He will be consumed by his selfish ambitions. He will try to change biblical prophecies by twisting the scriptures. he will ultimately pretend to be God and demand to be worshipped. He will come claiming he is the one, the long-awaited one. He will be the Messiah of the new age, who will be secretly led by Satan, who will see within him his former glory and will view him as the rightful vessel to re-achieve his ancient status and then some. He will usher in a new golden age of false peace and prosperity and will soon thereafter be proclaimed as the God of this new age. He will craftily make war with the saints and subdue them for a time, while keeping up this false personage. He also might be political antichrists. Just as there are religious antichrists, there also are political antichrists. Communism is a good example. Communism is an antichrist in that it seeks to replace Christ and his kingdom as Earth's rightful ruler and mankind's only hope. Thus, we are told that it is the messianic character of communism that gives it dynamic power to command allegiance. Its leaders, such as Lenin and Stalin, have been not only idolized, but deified, termed saviors, and the ones chosen by God to lead their people. What is true of communism's being the Antichrist is also true of the United Nations. It is being given a messianic role to play by the clergy of Christendom as the world's savior, its only hope and the only light, whereas the Bible plainly shows that Jesus Christ and God's kingdom is our only hope.
After Kate Middleton announced her cancer diagnosis, a lot of people were curious about what type of cancer the Princess of Wales has. But Kensington Palace made it pretty clear it would not share a specific diagnosis, saying,
For centuries, Nostradamus's prophecies, hidden within quatrains, have sparked the curiosity of scholars and the public alike. Many wonder what secrets lie hidden within their mysterious verses. Now, as the world witnesses rapid structural changes, particularly concerning the future of Britain, whispers of Nostradamus's predictions for Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, have reached a fever pitch. What secrets does this man hold about the royal family? What is happening to Kate Middleton? And could she be the perfect reflection of her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana? Join us as we unveil the mysteries hidden within Nostradamus's words. Challenging for a royal couple. As a royal family member, Kate has her own set of challenges and responsibilities. Among the most pressing concerns is the delicate balance between her personal life and her duties as a royal. One of the most famous prophecies attributed to Nostradamus speaks of a prince and a great lady who will have a marriage of great fame. Many believe this refers to the union between Prince William and Kate Middleton. The prophecy continues to speak of a great sorrow that will befall the couple, leading some to speculate about the difficulties they may face in their marriage. Let's get back to the past. Not long ago, the mysterious disappearance of Kate Middleton sparked a frenzy in public. Before Kate officially spoke out about her illness, her mysterious disappearance became a hot topic of discussion. At that time, a post on Kate's social media account featured a photo of her family, showing Kate alongside Prince William and their 3 children. However, keen-eyed observers noticed signs of editing in the image. Details on her face and clothing appeared unnatural, raising suspicions about whether she was actually present in the photo. Speculation about the true reasons for her disappearance grew rapidly, and many quickly realized that the image had been manipulated and edited. Kate's sudden disappearance and the royal family's suspicious actions led the public to question and develop numerous theories. Among the most discussed was the rumor of a rift between William and Kate. The speculation began when some sources alleged that William was involved in an inappropriate relationship with another woman. Social media and the press quickly amplified the story, transforming it into a hot topic across forums and television shows. Many began analyzing the couple's public photos, searching for signs that their marriage might be facing difficulties. The relentless public interest in the royal family's private lives created an environment ripe for misinformation and speculation, leading many to doubt the status of Kate and William's marriage. When these rumors surfaced, people were reminded of Nostradamus's prophecies, in which he predicted turmoil in the relationship of a famous couple. However, the truth was eventually revealed. Kate and William's family remained incredibly happy, and William continued to stand by Kate's side during this challenging period. Nevertheless, Nostradamus's prophecies still give us much to ponder. While these prophecies are shrouded in mystery and open to interpretation, they have undoubtedly sparked widespread interest and fascination about the future of the royal couple. Charming women. Another prophecy linked to royal members speaks of a woman of great beauty who all will desire. This prophecy is believed to refer to two remarkable women of the British royal family, Kate and her mother-in-law, Diana. Speaking of them, because they share quite a few similarities in terms of demeanor, personality, and kindness. From their fashion choices and approach to royal life, to their hands-on parenting, Kate and Diana have much in common, despite the fact their paths never crossed. And while Diana's love for her sons William and Harry was clear to see, she desperately wanted a daughter, according to former royal butler Paul Burrell, who was also her close friend. Kate and William welcomed Princess Charlotte in May 2015. Her full name is Charlotte Elizabeth Diana, a tribute to the grandmother she tragically never got to meet. The little royal is said to be similar to Diana in many ways, including her love of dance. While Kate and her children never got to meet Diana, who was killed in a car crash in August 1997, Prince William has revealed how he keeps his mother's memory alive for the youngsters. In the 2017 documentary, Diana, Our Mother, Her Life and Legacy, Prince William said he is constantly talking about Granny Diana with the children. Kate Middleton, who has often been compared to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, for a multitude of things, may also be headed for a similar fate amid fears over her well-being. Before Kate officially spoke about her illness, there were many theories, some of which were extremely far-fetched, put forward. Prince William's alleged affair with Lady Rose Hanbury, Marchioness of Cholmondeley, resurfaced, alluding that Kate's marriage may be in trouble. The rumors suggest that William has been in love with Rose for many years, but he ultimately decided to marry Kate. Similar to his father, King Charles, who was in love with Camilla Parker Bowles, but had to marry Diana. However, Charles never got over Camilla. In the early 90s, when Diana exposed Charles's affair, the couple had a messy separation, sending shockwaves across the monarchy. Charles and Diana eventually divorced in 1996, and a year later, Diana died in a fatal car crash. On the other hand, Charles ended up marrying Camilla in 2005. If the drama with Rose Hanbury is true, Kate's marriage may be in a situation similar to Princess Diana's. Of course, I'm not referring to the tragic end of the most beloved princess of all time. I am simply talking about the outcome of her marriage. To add to the mystery, the rumors surrounding Kate's health and her marriage have not died down, given the shroud of secrecy. Many are beginning to worry that there is something really wrong with Kate. This rumor was later claimed to be false and highly damaging, especially after Kate publicly shared with the public about her illness. All the rumors gradually subsided. Did Nostradamus predict Diana's death? Not only about Kate, but Nostradamus had also forecasted difficult times for British monarchs. The 15th century prophet Nostradamus had predicted troubled times for the monarchy. Let's start with the prophecy about Kate's mother-in-law. Mentioning Kate, many people will remember her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, because they share quite a few similarities in terms of demeanor, personality, and kindness. From their fashion choices and approach to royal life to their hands-on parenting, Kate and Diana have much in common, despite the fact their paths never crossed. And while Diana's love for her sons William and Harry was clear to see, she desperately wanted a daughter, according to former royal butler Paul Burrell, who was also her close friend. You know, Nostradamus made quite a few prophecies about the British royal family, which we will explore shortly. But the question here is whether Nostradamus predicted Princess Diana's death. He might have. After carefully reading Erica Cheatham's 1973 translation of Nostradamus' prophecies, we found 4 that could be attributed to Diana and 1 that could refer to Prince Charles. I say could because Nostradamus' prophecies, just like your daily horoscope, are written in such a way that the truth relies upon how one interprets each prediction. Now I listed the quatrains in the order in which they appear in Cheatham's book, and as I said above, the translations are hers. The interpretations, however, are one author's perspective. Read them and judge for yourself whether Nostradamus, a 16th century Franco-Jewish mystic, actually predicted the tragic death of Diana, Princess of Wales, more than 400 years before she was born. Oh, to what a dreadful and wretched torment! Are 3 innocent people going to be delivered? Poison suggested, badly guarded, betrayal, delivered up to horror by drunken executioners. This is not the best one. It takes a bit of twisting and fudging to make the prediction work. A car wreck at high speed is certainly a dreadful and wretched way to die. The 3 innocents are, of course, Diana, Dodi, and the driver, Henri Paul. Diana was badly guarded, certainly betrayed by Prince Charles, and her heart poisoned by his adulterous affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. The rose upon the middle of the world, because of new deeds, public blood is shed. To speak the truth, they will have closed mouths. Then, at a time of need, the awaited one will come late. One of the better ones. Diana was England's rose. Her blood was shed publicly, witnessed by casual bystanders and paparazzi alike. The new deeds refer to her love affair with an Arab which tweaked the sensibilities of the royals. The 3rd line refers to the fact that Henri Paul kept his mouth shut instead of telling Dodi he was too drunk to drive. The last line speaks of the 2 hours Diana spent injured and bleeding in the car before she was taken to the hospital. By the great number of tears shed, from top to bottom and from the bottom to the very top. A life is lost through a game with too much faith, to die of thirst through a great deficiency. Another good one. The first 2 lines refer to the outpouring of grief over her death, and how that sorrow was felt from the upper to lower classes. The game in the 3rd line alludes to Dodis's penchant for making a game of eluding the paparazzi at high speeds. Unfortunately, they had too much faith in driver Henri Paul. The last line is an archaic way of describing death by drunkenness. For the joyful maiden, the bright splendor will shine no more. For a long time, she will lack salt. With merchants, bullies, odious wolves, all confusion, the universal monster. The first line is self-explanatory. In the second, to lack salt means to lack wisdom or experience, which fits the 19-year-old Diana when she married Charles. The 3rd line refers to her various loves: merchant, Dodi, bully, Charles, and her constantly being stalked by the paparazzi, wolves. The last line alludes to her low self-esteem, longing for true love, and the general turmoil surrounding her life. And finally, here is a quatrain I found that could very well refer to Prince Charles, the heir to the throne, and what may happen should he become king. Quite a different man will attain to the great empire, distant from kindness, more so from happiness. Ruled by one not long come from his bed, the kingdom rushes to great misfortune. Charles has been described by many as cold, distant, and unhappy. The 3rd line, not long come from his bed, is an archaic way of describing an adulteress. It might be Camilla. The last line foresees bad times. For the British monarchy, should Charles become king while still maintaining his affair with Camilla. Setting aside what Nostradamus predicted, it seems that Princess Diana herself foresaw her own passing. Written with chilling foresight just 10 months before her untimely death in a Paris car wreck, Diana put her fears that she was the target of a sinister death plot down on paper as insurance for the future. Frightened and lonely, Diana knew the letter would never be taken seriously while she was alive. But filled with foreboding, she was determined to fight back against the Buckingham Palace machine she believed had been trying to silence her ever since her highly publicized breakup with Charles. The following is a look back at the eerie predictions the late princess made in 1996 in the run-up to that unforgettably dire day in the late summer of 1997. The former Princess of Wales wrote, "I am sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. I have been battered, bruised, and abused mentally by a system for 15 years now, but I feel no resentment. I carry no hatred. I am weary of the battles, but I will never surrender. I am strong inside, and maybe that is a problem for my enemies." The handwritten letter, the most compelling document suggesting the princess's death, was no accident and was handed to her trusted butler, Paul Burrell, for safekeeping. "I'm going to date this and I want you to keep it, just in case," she wrote to Burrell. At the time Diana penned the letter, 2 months after her 1996 divorce from Charles was finalized, Burrell claimed she was racked by anxiety and believed someone had bugged her apartments in Kensington Palace. She feared the royal family's loyalists believed that as long as she was on the scene, she was a loose cannon poised to reveal the family's deepest secrets. Diana was enjoying huge public support, but she had an overpowering feeling that she was in the way of shadowy plans hatched by palace insiders. "I have become strong, and they don't like it when I am able to do good and stand on my own 2 feet without them," she wrote. Diana became so paranoid about her safety, correctly as it turned out, that she persuaded Burrell to help her pull up the floorboards at her home so they could search for hidden listening devices. She fired her official police detail because she didn't trust them, stashed away secret tapes and diaries, and told her intimate circle about her fears. More than a decade after her death, a close friend revealed, Diana was worried she wouldn't see her sons grow up. There was a certain desperation in her manner. She was teaching them to be more normal, to offset the influence of the royal family when she was gone. Although there are quite a few similarities, as I mentioned above, the predicted fates of mother-in-law Diana and daughter-in-law Kate seem quite different. Kate's future and mission for the royal family appear to be brighter, but also more laden with responsibilities compared to her late mother-in-law. However, these are merely predictions, and we need to wait for time to reveal the truth. They're predictions about royal family. Speaking of the royal family, the most frequently mentioned prophecy of Nostradamus is when he predicted the rise of Prince Henry. Although it is very unlikely for Henry to be in the next line, Nostradamus has mentioned this possibility before. So let's explore the scenarios in which this might happen. But before discussing the successor to King Charles III, let's delve into the prediction about his abdication. Recent speculation has surfaced regarding predictions made by 16th century astrologer Nostradamus, suggesting a tumultuous future for Britain's King Charles in 2024 after his cancer diagnosis, which was discovered when he was undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate. Royal observers speculated that King Charles might step down, either voluntarily or due to pressure related to his health. The revelation of King Charles's cancer diagnosis has left many questions unanswered, with Buckingham Palace withholding details regarding the cancer type and stage. This lack of transparency has fueled both concern and speculation about the monarch's health and the potential implications for the British monarchy. In his renowned work, Les Prophéties, Nostradamus seemingly forecasted the monarch's downfall, including potential abdication or forced removal. Nostradamus predicted the potential abdication of a king and the rise of an unexpected successor, which now seems to echo the current situation involving King Charles and Prince Harry. The ancient prophet said the King of the Isles would be driven out by force and would be replaced by one who will have no mark of a king. Before that, he accurately predicted Queen Elizabeth II's passing at around the age of 96, a prophecy that aligned with Buckingham Palace's announcement of King Charles III's diagnosis following his mother's demise in 2022. However, the question of how Prince Harry, who has shown little interest in royal duties, would end up as king remains unanswered. The royal family has faced its fair share of scandals in recent years. However, the one that garnered the most headlines and caused papers and tabloids across the world to go nuts was Prince Harry's exit from the royal family and the fallout thereafter. Despite his decision to pull back from his familial duties, many wonder if Prince Harry could still rule as king. As is his birthright, otherwise known as birthright privilege, Prince Harry is fifth in line for the throne. In the instance of Charles's death, Prince William, Charles's firstborn son, is next in line for the throne. If something were to happen to William, Harry still wouldn't be next in line, as that would be William's firstborn Prince George, then Princess Charlotte, and finally Prince Louis. If William were to abdicate, which is highly unlikely, and George was still under 18, then it's a different question. The role of regent means a person who governs a kingdom in the minority, absence, or disability of the sovereign would then perhaps go to Harry until George was old enough to take on his royal duties. Nostradamus predicting Harry would become his successor seems unlikely, but we will never know what will happen after it actually happens. Speaking of Prince Harry, we cannot skip the prediction about his reunion. 2024 brings a plethora of retrogrades and some potentially life-disrupting eclipses for everybody, and this includes members of the royal family. Harry's chart is moving into the house of money, talent, and self-worth. It's also going to move into his house of community, marketing, and sales, Mr. Sasson said. As well as having success in his ventures in the new year, the astrology expert also forecasts that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle could have a third child when Jupiter moves into his house. Gall, author of The Astrology of 2023, Traversing the Bridge. Movement of the People, said Jupiter has been in Harry's house and family for the last year, for the first time in the river 80 years, which is the planet of unpredictable, crazy energy. After that, there will most likely be a reunion of the royal brothers. The reunion or patching up could be between the two brothers, who have become somewhat estranged in recent times. Sasson said Prince William, a Sagittarius Capricorn, was born during a new moon and close to a solar eclipse, which is a pretty powerful sign for a ruler, but it is likely he will be a late bloomer, and things will take time for him. But is this reunion possible? When the king announced that he had cancer, the Duke of Sussex, who withdrew from his role as a senior member of the British royal family, along with Meghan Markle, flew back to England to visit the king. It is known that Harry is also ready to return to temporary missions to support King Charles. However, Prince of Wales, William, who is angered by his younger brother's repeated attacks on the monarchy, is expected to block any attempt by Harry to return to the royal family. Sources close to William say that after King Charles III was diagnosed with cancer, William would take on more duties himself if necessary. The Prince of Wales also thinks Harry and Meghan cannot be trusted. A source close to the matter said it was unlikely William would allow his younger brother to return to royal duties. Whatever was discussed between William and the king was private, but it's clear William won't allow Harry back. William used to think it was a bad idea, and now he's even more clear with that in mind. If anyone is going to take on more duties, it will be William. His focus is on his father's health, his family, and what's best for the monarchy, 0%. It's possible that Harry will return in any capacity, the source said. Previously, in his autobiography Spare, Harry criticized his family, accusing his brother of pushing him into a dog bowl in a fit of rage. He also directed his attacks at his stepmother, Queen Camilla, and sister-in-law, the Princess of Wales. Last year, a book by Omid Scobie, said to be Harry and Meghan's spokesman, sparked controversy over allegations of racism within the British royal family. the two royals are said to have discussed the skin color of the Sussex's son. King Charles believes building bridges with Harry and Meghan will benefit the monarchy, but believes any official role for the Duke of Sussex would be a step backwards. In 2020, when the Sussexes left the royal family to seek financial freedom, the late Queen Elizabeth II refused their request to both perform duties on behalf of the monarchy and be allowed to pursue commercial interests. The British royal family at that time came to an agreement that allowed the Sussexes to seek a new life outside the home, but prohibited them from declaring themselves princes or taking advantage of royal connections for commercial gain. The last pope. This is also one of the famous predictions of this man. According to Nostradamus, we could be facing a year that could mean the farewell to Pope Francis, who at 87 years of age in 2024 has already gone through several health problems. The Pope had to skip the UN climate conference because of lung inflammation and breathing problems. Through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his see, but long will he sit and in biting activity, Nostradamus wrote. While the arrival of a younger, vigorous pope sounds like a good thing, Nostradamus immediately goes on to say that the new leader will weaken his see, and that he will be pope for a long time. The exact meaning of weaken is, of course, open to debate. Does he mean the influence of the church will somehow lessen, or is some greater scandal on the way? Well, only time will tell. However, it's essential to note that his writings, particularly in Les Prophéties, are written in a cryptic and metaphorical style that is open to various interpretations. Many of his quatrains are vague and can be applied to different events. World War III. On the other hand, the Frenchman predicted the beginning of a new world war 79 years after the end of the second one. A confrontation around China is something that many geopolitical experts and journalists have started to see in the changing dynamics and rise of China as a global power. In the past, China has showcased its brute force several times in regions around the South China Sea and Taiwan, most of them through its naval ships. Analysts believe this may allude to the escalating conflict in Asia, with China involving NATO countries, potentially leading to a violent military conflict or an all-out war. Nostradamus also predicted something similar to this centuries ago. In one of his quatrains, he wrote about combat and naval battle. He said that the red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. Some think that the red adversary could be referring to China. He could well be referring to what happened in Ukraine, the China-Taiwan conflict, or Palestine. Some interpreters point to every earthquake, every political upheaval, and every attack on Israel as a sure sign that the end times are rapidly approaching. While the events may signal the approach of the last days, they are not necessarily indicators that the end times have arrived. The Apostle Paul warned that the last days would bring a marked increase in false teaching. The Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. The last days are described as perilous times because of the increasingly evil character of man and people who actively oppose the truth. Throughout Christian history, believers have speculated that the prophesied end times were just about to start. Some audacious ones have even set specific dates. People predicting end times dates usually focus on things like wars, increasing wickedness, and natural disasters. They talk about bad things like the increased fierceness of storms, the surge of killer viruses, severe famines and droughts, and escalating tensions between nations. There is no doubt that world war will be a part of the future. Christ plainly taught that there would be war prior to his return. Jesus foretold nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Similarly, Revelation 6:4 foretold a symbolic horseman representing warfare that would take peace away from the earth. To be more specific, the future does hold at least one more world war. There is nothing in Scripture that says there will be only a certain number of world wars. World Wars I and II are not explicitly mentioned in Scripture, nor is a possible third world war. It is only the last war that is mentioned in detail, which allows the interpretation that there may be others before the final conflict. So, although there will be at least one more world war, there is no doubt of the outcome. Righteousness will prevail as Christ, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, defeats all who oppose him. It is also worth mentioning at this time that following the 1,000-year reign of Christ, there will be another uprising which could possibly have the scope of a world war. Satan will be bound for 1,000 years and then released. Upon his release, he leads a rebellion among the peoples of the earth. Christ quickly puts down this rebellion and permanently judges Satan, casting him into the lake of fire as he did with the beast, Antichrist, and the false prophet.